Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, April 24th. Yes, we have made it to Friday. Are you sick of hearing that yet? Kind of odd to keep saying it, but we have made it to Friday. For those of us who are still working, this is the end of a work week, and we have good news for those of you who are not working. So that's coming up right off the top, so stick with me here. We are going to start off this morning as we do each morning. I'll give you the latest updates from the Ohio Department of Health. I'm Stephanie Haney here with your top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. So each day at 2 p.m., the Ohio Department of Health releases the new numbers on COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio. We have those numbers for you now from yesterday that came out at 2 p.m. And here's where things currently stand right now. And as a reminder, these are based on the expanded CDC definition for cases and deaths that include not only confirmed positive cases of COVID-19, but also probable cases of COVID-19, which is something we need to take into consideration. As we know, across the country, testing is extremely limited. So here in Ohio, right now, we have reported 14,694 cases of COVID-19. Now, we've been focusing this week on these live streams about how those numbers have changed from day to day, but it's important to take a step back and look at an overall picture as well. And if you look at the past week, the numbers have doubled over the past week collectively. We have seen the numbers of new cases from day to day change a bit. Earlier in the week, we saw new cases in the 1300s, then that was in the 800s, then close to 400. Yesterday, we saw over 500 new cases. So there is some change from day to day in what those numbers are looking like. But overall, in the last week, those numbers have doubled. And for the number of deaths, we are now at a total of 656 deaths. Those numbers have been on an increase in new cases throughout the past week. There was an increase of 20, and then 38, and then 48, and then in the 50s. So not doubling each day with the new cases like we saw at the beginning of the week, but definitely increasing throughout the week. So we will keep an eye and compare those numbers for you when we get those new numbers at 2 p.m. Here is that good news for people who have been waiting for much needed benefits from the federal government. Ohioans who do not qualify for regular jobless benefits can now start to apply for the new federal program. Now, there has been a lot of confusion about this because after the U.S. CARES Act was passed, there wasn't a lot of clear information about how the state of Ohio would be handling the ability for people who typically didn't qualify for unemployment to be able to apply for those benefits. Well, now we know that there is a new system, and that is expected to go live today. Now, as of a couple minutes ago, it wasn't live just yet on the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services website, but it is expected to go live today so that people can pre-register for those benefits. This is called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, and those benefits will be very similar to what people who qualify for normal unemployment benefits or usual unemployment benefits in the state of Ohio get, plus that $600 per week that people who are qualifying for normal unemployment benefits get here in the state of Ohio, and that's now through July 25th. So you'll be able to pre-register for that today, according to the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services. You're going to want to go to unemploymenthelp.ohio.gov. That's unemploymenthelp.ohio.gov, and there you'll find links referencing the PUA Expanded Eligibility Pre-Registration. So by pre-registering, you'll be able to get in line early, according to the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services, so that the agency can process those claims starting May and then complete the paperwork. So the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services said this: for those eligible, this is very good news, PUA benefits will be retroactive to the date they qualified, going back as early as February 2nd. So if you've been out of work for some time, you won't miss out on that time, even though you've been going without pay so far. You'll be able to retroactively get that money. The program will provide up to 39 weeks of benefits, and these are for people who historically did not qualify for unemployment in the state of Ohio. That includes self-employed workers, 1099 tax filers, part-time workers, and people who don't have a sufficient work history. That also includes people who have already collected all that they're able to collect per year in an unemployment period. So if you have exhausted your unemployment benefits in the state of Ohio, that includes you. And this is all part of the U.S. CARES Act. Now, if you do have questions, you can call them at 833-604-0774. Again, that's 833-604-0774. The agency also said that people who have been claiming unemployment benefits in Ohio started receiving those $600 weekly supplements as part of the U.S. CARES package, and that will be available through July 25th as well. So really good news there for people who, again, historically don't qualify for that unemployment here in Ohio. That pre-registration goes live and those benefits will begin being processed, and hopefully people will start getting those payments early in May. Here's an important reminder. LYSOL is now warning people not to use their product internally. Can't believe that I'm saying this, but yes, do not ingest LYSOL. Don't do it. This comes after President Donald Trump discussed the idea of injecting disinfectants into the bodies of COVID-19 patients. So LYSOL released this statement. Due to recent speculation and social media activity, the makers of LYSOL and Dettol have been asked whether internal administration of disinfectants may be appropriate for investigation or use as a treatment for coronavirus. The answer is no. Do not inject or ingest in any way, shape, or form disinfectants into your body. In the same press conference, President Donald Trump talked about possibly using heat and light to try and treat COVID-19. The Environmental Protection Agency said, never apply the product to yourself or to others. Do not ingest disinfectant products. Trump is expected to sign a $500 billion package today to aid businesses. He'll be holding a signing ceremony for the bill today, and the hope is that it provides relief to business owners and the economy in this time. So at this time, more than 1 in 6 Americans have lost their job or had it placed on pause due to restrictions related to COVID-19 so that we can stop the spread of this virus. The measure has passed through Congress almost unanimously. That was yesterday. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said millions of people are out of work. This is really a very, very sad day. We come to the floor with nearly 50,000 deaths. That was the numbers as of yesterday. A huge number of people impacted and the uncertainty of it all. We hope to soon get to a recovery phase, but right now we're still in mitigation. So that's the update on that. Of course, this was passed after the Payment Protection Program quickly ran out of money, which was designed to help small businesses be able to keep people on their payroll so that those people wouldn't have to claim unemployment benefits. So Congress is doing what they can in order to help people get the money that they need at this time when so many people are out of work. Here in Ohio, almost 1 million people out of work. That's about 1/5 of our working population here in the state of Ohio. So absolutely very difficult times for a lot of people. All right, let's switch things up and talk about something exciting that happened yesterday. Yesterday was the kickoff of the 2020 NFL Draft, and it was very different in these times. It was done completely remotely. The commissioner, Roger Goodell, for the NFL, announced the picks from his basement. And a lot of people thought it was pretty funny that he normally comes out to booze because, it's tough to be the commissioner of the NFL. So he actually had himself a little gallery of people in what looked like a Zoom conference booing him to start the show, having a good-natured spirit about it. And then the picks came out. The Browns did have the number 10 pick last night. And what they did was, despite all that talk of needs versus long-term talent, they did fill a need that we do have in our offensive line. We want people to protect the people that try and score those touchdowns for us. So we now have Alabama offensive tackle JEDRICK Jr. as part of the Browns roster. He looks like a big guy, looks like he will probably be able to help Baker Mayfield stay on his feet, so that's a good thing. He's a former 4-star prospect who started in 29 games in his career with the Crimson Tide, and he earned his first team All-SEC and second team All-American honors in 2019. He was considered to be one of the most pro-ready offensive tackles in the draft. So according to Pro Football Focus, he allowed just 1 sack on a quarterback in 929 pass blocking snaps over the course of his college career. So that sounds pretty good. Of course, college and the NFL are different, but we're hoping that he can translate that to the professional field and we'll have some good protection for our quarterback. We're very excited to have him here in Cleveland. The draft does continue throughout this weekend tonight. Rounds 2 and 3 kick off at 7 p.m. We do have picks in the second and the third round. We have the 41st overall pick in round 2 and the 74th overall pick in round 3. We also have pick 97 in round 3, which we picked up from the Texans. And then Saturday at noon, the rest of the draft will kick off and take place. So that'll be rounds 4 through 7. We have the 115th pick in round 4. We picked up the 187th pick from the Cardinals in round 6 and the 244th pick from the Packers in round 7. So we don't have a round 5 pick, but that's the only round where the Browns aren't seeing action tomorrow. Of course, you never know what can happen. These things get traded around, but as of right now, that's where it stands. One more thing we want to remind you about, something we like to do here at WKYC is celebrate the seniors who are unfortunately missing out on a lot of milestones right now. So we want to do what we can to shout out those seniors and celebrate them. A lot of seniors are preparing to graduate without spending the final days of their journeys alongside their classmates. So to celebrate that, we need your help. We want you to send us your non-professional pictures of the seniors in your life or of yourself if you're watching this and you are a senior, and we are going to feature as many of those people as possible in the coming weeks. If you want to submit a photo, you can do that at wkyc.com/senior shoutouts. Again, that's wkyc.com/senior shoutouts. We want to send a huge congratulations to the class of 2020, whether that's a high school class or a college class. We are here to celebrate you. So help us do that. Send us photos of yourself if you're a graduating senior or the senior in your life at wkyc.com/senior shoutouts. Okay, those are the top headlines for this morning. Next up, we have 3 News Connect. That's with Jay Crawford and our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins. You can find that at noon. That's on TV on 3 News, also on wkyc.com, our WKYC app, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And I will be back right here at 2 p.m. when we get those updated numbers from the Ohio Department of Health. I'm Stephanie Haney. I will see you back here in a little bit.